Have you ever pondered which key events in American history shaped the country's current landscape? History, as they say, is the greatest storyteller. It's a fascinating tapestry woven from countless threads of events, decisions, triumphs, and tragedies. In our quest to understand the present, we often find ourselves looking back, tracing the paths that have led us to where we are. This journey takes us to the heart of American history, a vast and complex narrative filled with pivotal moments that have indelibly shaped the nation's trajectory. Today we delve into 10 of these key events, moments that have not only defined the destiny of a nation, but also left an indelible mark on the world stage. These are the milestones that have sculpted America's current landscape, the turning points that have steered its course through the turbulent waters of history. And so we begin our journey with the first significant event, the arrival of Christopher Columbus in the New World in 1492. Christopher Columbus's arrival in 1492 marks the beginning of a new era. This momentous event was more than just a geographical discovery. It was a pivotal turning point that led to a profound transformation of the world as it was known. Columbus's voyage ignited the interest of European powers in the New World, setting the stage for centuries of exploration, conquest, and colonization. The consequences of this discovery were far-reaching, particularly for the indigenous people in America. Their lives were irrevocably altered as they were exposed to foreign diseases, faced exploitation, and endured forced conversion to Christianity. Despite these adversities, their resilience and resistance became a testament to human spirit and survival. This period of exploration and colonization laid the groundwork for the complex tapestry of cultures that would eventually form the United States. Yet, the true founding of what we now know as the United States was yet to come with the Jamestown settlement. In 1607, Jamestown, the first permanent English settlement, was established. This marked a significant point in history, one that would lay the groundwork for the future United States. The settlers faced immense challenges. A harsh climate, lack of food, and conflict with the native Powhatan Confederacy made survival a constant struggle. But as time passed, the settlers found a lifeline in a plant native to the Americas: tobacco. Cultivation of this cash crop became the colony's economic backbone, leading to a steady stream of income that ensured Jamestown's survival. However, this success had a dark side. To meet the growing demands for tobacco, the settlers turned to slavery. In 1619, the first African slaves were brought to Jamestown. This marked the beginning of a brutal system that would leave a lasting scar on the nation. The next pivotal event was the American Revolutionary War. The American Revolutionary War, starting in 1775, was the birth of the nation as we know it today. This was a conflict between 13 American colonies seeking independence from the British Empire and their loyalists. The seeds of this war were sown by the heavy taxes imposed by Britain, leading to widespread discontent and a yearning for freedom. The catalyst of this revolution was the signing of the Declaration of Independence in 1776. This audacious document, penned by Thomas Jefferson, proclaimed the colony's independence, asserting their rights to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. The war ended in 1783, and the Treaty of Paris was signed, finally recognizing the sovereignty of the United States over the former colonies. The formation of the United States marked a new chapter in world history, establishing a precedent for colonies everywhere to seek self-governance. The next milestone event is the Civil War. The Civil War, from 1861 to 1865, was a defining moment in American history. It was a war of brother against brother, a country divided, a struggle that questioned the very heart of America's values. The primary cause was the long-standing controversy over slavery. The southern states, heavily reliant on slavery for their agricultural economy, clashed with the northern states who were moving towards an industrial economy and were largely opposed to slavery. In the midst of this conflict, President Abraham Lincoln issued the Emancipation Proclamation in 1862, declaring that all enslaved people in the Confederate-held territories were to be set free. This did not end slavery overnight, but it was a significant step towards abolition. Finally, in 1865, the 13th Amendment was ratified, legally ending slavery across the entire United States. The Civil War, a bitter and bloody conflict, had irrevocably shaped the nation. The next key event we will discuss is the Great Depression. The Great Depression, starting in 1929, was a time of immense economic hardship. This period, extending into the late 30s, was characterized by soaring unemployment, plummeting production, and a severe contraction in economic activity. The catalyst? The Wall Street crash of 1929, which saw billions of dollars evaporate overnight. As a devastating ripple effect swept the nation, breadlines and shanty towns, known as Hoovervilles, became a common sight. The hardship spurred the government into action, leading to the introduction of the New Deal policies under President Franklin D. Roosevelt. These policies aimed to stimulate economic recovery and alleviate poverty with steps such as the establishment of federal job programs, banking reforms, and the introduction of Social Security. While the Great Depression was a time of great suffering, it also marked a turning point in the way the government approached economic policy, setting the stage for the modern welfare state. The next pivotal event is World War II. World War II, from 1939 to 1945, saw the United States emerge as a global superpower. The cataclysmic event began with the attack on Pearl Harbor, a day that will forever live in infamy. The unprovoked assault on December 7th, 1941 propelled America into the fray, shifting the course of the global conflict. This war wasn't only fought on foreign shores, though. The home front also experienced monumental changes. Industries transformed to support the war effort, churning out planes, tanks, and munitions at a rapid pace. Women and minorities stepped into roles previously occupied by men, altering societal norms and expectations. As a result, the United States emerged from the war as an economic and military powerhouse, its status elevated on the global stage. This period of upheaval and change set the stage for the next defining chapter in American history. The next key event is the Civil Rights Movement. The Civil Rights Movement from the mid-1950s to the late 1960s was a struggle for social justice. It was a time of great upheaval and immense progress. Key figures such as Martin Luther King Jr., Rosa Parks, and Malcolm X, among others, led the charge for equality and fought against racial segregation and discrimination. Major events like the Montgomery bus boycott, the March on Washington, and the Birmingham campaign propelled the movement into the national spotlight, forcing America to confront its own systemic racism. These events sparked widespread protests and ultimately led to landmark legislation such as the Civil Rights Act of 1964 and the Voting Rights Act of 1965. This era fundamentally transformed American society, dismantling long-standing racial barriers and igniting a new wave of social activism. The impact of the civil rights movement continues to reverberate through American society today, shaping our understanding of equality, justice, and freedom. The next pivotal event is the Vietnam War. The Vietnam War from 1955 to 1975 was a contentious period in American history. This conflict, rooted in the fear of communism's spread in Southeast Asia, saw the United States supporting South Vietnam against the communist North Vietnam, led by Ho Chi Minh. The Gulf of Tonkin Resolution in 1964 escalated the US involvement, leading to a full-blown war. Public reaction to the war was divided, with the majority initially supporting the cause. However, as the war dragged on with no clear end in sight and the death toll of American soldiers rose, public sentiment shifted. Anti-war protests erupted across the country, symbolizing a profound cultural shift. In 1973, the Paris Peace Accords were signed, leading to a ceasefire and the withdrawal of US troops. However, by 1975, North Vietnam had overtaken the South, uniting the country under communist rule. The Vietnam War left an indelible mark on the American psyche, shaping its foreign policy and societal attitudes. The last key event we'll discuss is the 9/11 attacks. The 9/11 attacks in 2001 marked a turning point in American history. On this fateful day, 19 terrorists linked to the extremist group Al-Qaeda hijacked 4 commercial airplanes. 2 of these planes were flown into the Twin Towers of the World Trade Center in New York City, causing the buildings to collapse within hours. The 3rd plane hit the Pentagon in Virginia, while the 4th, United Flight 93, crashed in Pennsylvania after passengers bravely fought the hijackers. The tragedy resulted in nearly 3,000 deaths and caused massive destruction. The United States, shocked and angered, responded swiftly. The government launched the War on Terror, with invasions in Afghanistan and Iraq, aiming to dismantle al-Qaeda and other terrorist organizations. This event had profound effects on American society, leading to increased security measures, changes in foreign policy, and a renewed sense of nationalism. These 10 events have significantly shaped the United States as we know it today. So, these were the 10 key events that shaped America's current landscape. From the humble beginnings of the first permanent English settlement, the nation was born out of exploration and resilience. The Revolutionary War ignited the flame of independence, leading to a country that was free to govern itself. The Civil War, a dark yet crucial period, further defined the nation's identity, laying the foundation for a united society. The Great Depression and World War II tested America's strength, both economically and militarily, while the Civil Rights Movement and the Vietnam War sparked social and political change. The shocking 9/11 attacks brought forth a new era of security concerns and global policies. These events have been stepping stones, shaping the country's current landscape, its values, its struggles, and its triumphs. They've painted a picture of a nation that has continuously evolved through adversity. Thank you for watching. Remember to subscribe, share, and comment your thoughts below. Also, check our playlist for more in-depth videos on each event. Until next time, keep exploring history